The Orlando Magic are a really interesting team right now because the Eastern Conference and where they fit in it right now is kind of up to the next couple of months. They started out pretty hot, and that's both a good and bad sign because they've kind of been struggling as of recently. A typical Orlando Magic season in the past has looked like a super hot start, up there with the big guys, slowly falling off, maybe making the play in or missing the playoffs altogether. And the Orlando Magic are at a really important point in their season where they might need to make a big move, or they might need to sell off some expiring guys and try and, keep that talent good, but get it in more of a locked into the future type of position. They really need to start winning some games down the stretch, recover, and kind of firmly put themselves in that sixth seed, and maybe that'll help them come playoff time. I really like the team. I like the way that they're set up. I just think that if they try to go all in, you know, that's a big risk that they might not be willing to take. And if they don't make that risk, how are they going to stack up against the East? I think they're a big dark horse. They might be able to knock off someone like, you know, Miami or New York. I don't really know that they could knock off Miami, but we'll see. They match up pretty well with the Bucks and the Celtics, although I don't really see them beating either of those teams. The Magic are just in an interesting spot. I don't, really know what to expect from them at this point. It would be a huge disservice to make a video about the Orlando Magic and not talk about Paolo Banchero. He's amazing, having an absolutely great year, followed up his pretty great rookie season last year, and obviously he's still growing as a player. Again, realistically, all you need to see is a little bit more consistency, but he's not exactly an inconsistent player. Like, he gives you 20 pretty much every night. It's just about the efficiency and maybe starting to see him take over games, which he has been proven that he can do. But if you just see him take over a game for a little bit longer, hit some more stretches, that's really the only thing. Like, he's had a super polished game since he came into the league. Like, the fadeaways, the post game, he's physical, he's built for it. Like, he had by far the best, like, coming into the league build that you've seen, like, in recent memory. He was the number one pick for a reason. Like, he was the most NBA ready guy to come out of Duke in recent years, other than Zion, maybe. But even him, like, Paolo is built for this. His game translates so well, and it's no surprise that he's having a ton of success right now. You have a lot of interesting players. I think Jalen Suggs is pretty cool. Not sure if Markel Fultz is going to stick around. Not sure if Cole Anthony is going to stick around. I do like the Franz Wagner, both Wagner brothers. Mo is annoying, but that's the type of player that you need. They're gritty. I like them. They kind of are like the Memphis team of the East. Like, they are going to play good defense. They are really set up well to attack you with mismatches. Jonathan Isaac off the bench, like, they have a lot of really good long defenders. That's why I say they can give some of the top people in the East problems come playoff time. Like, one of those teams that you might be like, I'd probably rather face, Atlanta or Chicago. Like, I don't know who's going to be at the bottom of the East come playoff time, but that's the type of team you'd probably rather play as one of the top teams in the East as opposed to Orlando, because Orlando does have pretty good upset potential. Like I said already, one of the big moments that you really need in this season right now is the prove it. All right, back it up. We've had a good start to the year, start to fall off. You got to recover. Like, you're stumbling, but you can't let it turn into a slide. Like, you cannot fall down the standings. You need to get steady and start making up that ground, start trying to climb back up, because they were a top 3 seed a couple, 15 or so games into the year. Obviously, we're well past that at this point in the season, but this is a fucking amazing basketball team. Excuse my language, but, like, the potential that this team has is to blow off the stadium. I mean, I'm higher on the Orlando Magic than most people are. You have another guy like Anthony Black who's, trying to find himself in the minutes that he's given. They are pretty guard heavy as a team. I love what Jalen Suggs has developed into. He's Pick 5, a lot of people are gonna say he's a bust because he's not De'Aaron Fox, but I really like what he is for this team, and, receding hairline joke aside, like, he is a damn good player, and I don't think Orlando regrets drafting him in the slightest. Really, if I was Orlando, the only thing that I can think of that would make my team better, maybe if you're moving on from a guy like Wendell Carter, maybe you could move for like a Siakam. I've always felt like Siakam, especially with this Magic team, would be really interesting as a small ball 5 because they have that length defensively, but it doesn't really feel like that's the kind of team that wants a small ball center. I don't know how they're going to make it work. I'm really interested to see what they do at the deadline because if they buy on someone like Siakam or Markkanen, this could be a really good team going forward in the East. Like they could seriously start climbing. Like they could pass a team like New York pretty easily. I usually find that I have a lot of things to say, but I really don't with this Magic team because I just think what they do is pretty well spoken about and you know what they're good at and they have the defensive capabilities to you know put you in an uncomfortable position and kind of dominate the pace of play, dominate the style of play. You're really at their mercy in terms of how the game is played. And Orlando can use that to their advantage. I really do think that they are the dark horse of the East right now, but it's also possible that everything falls apart, the wheels come off, and then, they're back in the lottery like the last few seasons. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Orlando does here. I really do like them. I think that they're a fun, young, scrappy group, and I'm really interested to see if they can develop into championship contenders in the next couple of years.